Okay, so we have some extra special words that our students don't know about. Let me do what things that y'all don't know about. Sister Halima has something special for our students. So let's welcome Sister Aisha, Sister Halima.
All right.
Well, like I heard they said people say Sister Aisha Halima because they're like one person.
Yeah.
At this time, we'd like to recognize the students and you for helping out at the fundraising event that we put on this April. For all your hard work from the beginning to the end. We really appreciate you. So we thought this would be appropriate for you.
But not only that, just for the fundraiser, but all the community service that they've done from last year to this year. Since they've been in this match, as they said that these children done a lot of community service in this match. So I'm going to start with these awards for community service.
Abdullah Muhammad.
All right.
All right. That's beautiful.
Muhammad Sadri.
Oh, he's not here.
He's not here.
Someone can go with him.
Abdul Hamid Sadri.
He's not here.
They're not here.
Hudayfa Stroud.
All right.
Nori Amina Bradshaw.
All right.
Amatullah Muhammad. Khalid Jackson.
All right, Khalid.
Abdullahi Muhammad. Siraj Johnson.
All right, Siraj.
Maimuna Stroud.
All right.
But I'll be back. Put in the backward. Oh, there she is. Oh, there you go, baby.
You gotta go back to
On three. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Okay, so I have some awards. I taught media arts this year for the first time, and I actually have one of our lovely coordinators,
Yes.
Wifer, here. You can stand this screen. Miss Free, she so wonderfully extended the Wifer Community Clubhouse to us. She came to Sister Charlize, Sister Halima, and was saying, you know, you have your kids come every summer. Why don't your homeschool group come during the school year?
Yes.
And we continue to pull things like graphic design and photography and filmmaking. They were like, that sounds like a job for joy. And I was like, I ain't never told nobody nothing before. So Ms. Bree was so great in helping me like design the whole curriculum and every question that I had. And the students did some amazing things this year. One of the things that they did, actually Hudayfa. 1, 2, 3.
Hudayfa.
I love this kid. I love him. And one of the things he did was he wrote an essay, and he won the submission. He'll be going to California for free, an expense-paid trip in August for the Adobe Youth Summit. Thank you. So he did some amazing things. They all did some amazing things this year. Now I always tell my students that two things that I recognize. I recognize effort. No, that's the main thing, right? Yeah, putting in work. I tell them that all the time. So for my awards, I was very, very selective. And I was like, I don't give out awards to everybody because I really believe in valuable experiences. And I believe that, too, that the people who really push forward and strive should be recognized. So, let's stand up here. What y'all doing? Okay, these are my co-hosts right here. So, the first award goes to this particular student. Attitude means a whole lot in the classroom. Like we said, when you're teaching teenagers, sometimes they can just be like, you know, you're like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Like, did your dog die? You lost your bike? Why are you so depressed? But I was now I'm happy. So, you know, just let it go. But, so I really emphasize having a positive attitude. And this particular student, although sometimes the student it took a while to get into the vibe, for the most part I can say that this person had a consistent enthusiasm throughout the whole class. And I'm also honored to say that I've taught the student in another area. So, the award for Energy of a Champion Award goes to Ishmael Brad. And so Ishmael was awarded with a gift certificate to the Atlanta Scuba and Swim Center. So he'll have a free scuba lesson there at the Atlanta Scuba and Film Center in Kennesaw,
Say hi.
June 17th.
Say hi.
Get your mama to hold on to the group hug.
Hey, pretty.
All right, so thank you so much, Ishmael. Like I said, I also taught him in language arts, and we had, it was really sometimes like digging in there and getting him, but his energy, he would be like, yes, so I got this idea, or I did this and I did that, and he really kept the enthusiasm, and I really love that about him. Even when things are difficult, even when he had to persevere, he really kept it up. So the next award goes to, like I told you, I really emphasized effort, and this award, this student always consistently impressed me from the very beginning of the school year to the very end. I mean, when we were grinding it out for the film that we did for the Whiteford Showcase, this student was still there. And as a matter of fact, so much so that it's not just one student, it's two. So for the Putting in Work Award, the first goes to So Huzaifa gets a gift certificate to an all-day paintball experience with 4 friends.
Oh, wow.
And the second Putting in Work Award goes to my girl, Amatula. Okay, I think I'm gonna cry. But it's okay, because crying is good. My team Huzaifa, mashallah, every single time I went over their work, I was always impressed. Always impressed. And it means so much just to consistently do a good job. That means so much. So I'm really, really proud of Mati. And you have a gift certificate to a dance class at an all-women's dance center. So congratulations, Mati. Okay, so this final award goes to my student who has the highest score. I really believe in honoring GPA. Like I said, sometimes this person embodies a little bit of all of those traits that I just mentioned. And I really think it means something if you strive and you're like the best of the best with your grades. Okay, grades actually do mean quite a bit because it shows how much you really care to a degree, and a strong degree. And I believe in honoring that as well. So my award for the highest score, which I think is so appropriate for this particular individual, goes to, and also to, I don't give grades, they earn it. And I told them something, I said, in my class, it's a lot like Islam. You get rewarded for doing good, you get punished for doing bad, okay? You don't just get punished for making a bad grade, you get rewards for doing well. So one of the highest grades you get in my class is what's called an Uber A. So it's like you've taken that A into the stratosphere. And this is the only student in my class who's earned an Uber A this year. It goes to Abdullahi. So since him and Huzaifa are good friends, I figured they would both go to the all-day paintball experience with 4 friends. You guys pick 2 other friends. Get in, I'll take you there, I'll drop you off, and I'll pick you up at the end of the day. So let's give another round of applause again for our wonderful students. And up next we have Brother Khatib Muhammad. Are you going to introduce her or you want them to just do do their thing.
I can introduce you.
Okay, so he was our African studies teacher, and every time I went to class, I was like, I just feel like doing this. It's like running around, you know, doing this. So Brother Khatib always brought it, and he would introduce the students' piece, their spoken word piece. Please welcome Brother Khatib Muhammad.
Walaikum salam. Power to the people, brother. That's right.
Alhamdulillah, it has been a tremendous year. And our class was entitled Struggle or Stagnation. And with looking at struggle and stagnation, we were basically trying to look at all the movements in which African people were dealing with here in this country, and we wanted to analyze it, and we wanted to, you know, pick apart each one of them and see how best we could do something different if we had to deal with that. And alhamdulillah, you know, we had our moments. We switched from different topics. We've dealt with issues that plagued that you find out in society that's going on now. And we try to deal with these issues and say what they are, and say, okay, this is our stance. No wavering, no wishy-washiness. This is our stance. And alhamdulillah, it's I'm happy that I had an opportunity to teach them this year. They will be putting together they are performing a spoken word piece, and I got inspired by this piece back in the day, you know, for all us, you know, people who are 37 on up, about 40-something, what have you. You all remember the heyday of the Afrocentric movement, and dealing with a lot of what we were dealing with is hip-hop and what have you. One of the things that was very monumental that came out in the late 80s, early 90s was a cut called Self-Destruction. And dealing with self-destruction, it dealt with different topics. Well, alhamdulillah, they will do self-destruction. 2013 Muslim style.
All right.
With this, and it also, this is another thing. That was one aspect. The other aspect is we took it back for those who remember the movement in the 60s. And one of the things that came up, that rise up out of it, because again, we're speaking with spoken word. It was a group that started out as the Douglas Three that eventually became the Last Poets. And so we have a combination. So we're actually doing a tribute to the Self-Destruction, 2013 Muslim Style, and the Last Poets. So I give you now, you know, spoken word.
All right. Woo!
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'll be presenting a white man has a God complex. What manner of man is this, I ask, who roams the seven seas, who graces the skies of birds of iron and wanders where he please, who walks into another's home and takes his property, then slays the man, his wife, and child in the name of liberty? What manner of beast is this, I ask, who drops a napalm from the skies, then send my sons away to war, to kill, maim, and die? What manner of man is this, I ask, who arrogantly displays his might? What manner of man is this, my friend? Needless to say, he's white. So take your hands off me, white folks. I've done you no wrong. I'm only guilty of making you strong. I've built all of your cities, I've worked in your minds. I fought to protect you many a time. It was I who taught you what it is to be brave. It was I who taught you what it is. It is I who made great civilizations when you lived in caves. I taught you what was soap when you dyed yourself blue. I taught you of planting and harvesting too. I showed you what clothes were to cover your backs when you were wearing wolfskins and running in packs. When you knew nothing of the barrier of sound, it was I who taught you that the planet was round. In Palermo, Sicily, Italy, and Spain, I left monuments of grandeur and fame. And during your dark ages when your people were blind, I built universities to enlighten your kind. When your homeland was weak and your people were poor, it was I who brought you to America's shore. Why you did not even know how to survive, I showed you medicine to keep you alive. How earnest you seem, how well you did learn. Now vow a reward I received in return. But time is on my side. I'm sure you must know that the day will arrive when you will reap what you sow. I am white man has a God complex.
All right, Siraj.
I like that.
Let's jump back in time a few centuries, where a lot of these events don't make sense to me. But in the end, I guess it's all destiny. Because it made a miracle, it was meant to be. Now, children, have you ever heard the word or term slave? A worker forced to labor for only praying to be saved from the hands of the master. Chaos and disaster. For many of these slaves, there was no happy ever after. S is for the sun beating down on their face as they pick cotton to the end of the day. L is for the lack of rights they never had, whether you were a black child, a black mom, or a black dad. A is for the agony they faced. For instance, whipped and punished from day-to-day resistance, tortured for no apparent reason. B is for the viciousness of the master, for being the reasons for this chaos and disaster. E is for the internalized remembrance of the slaves. Couldn't stand a chance, surviving in these days. Couldn't walk in the shoes of a very unfortunate southern black slave. I am slavery.
All right.
We were pinned like pigs. Project where we live. A project for the pigs to put us back in the pens. Got us trained with the schools, a psychological tools, bells and lines, gray paint in the cafeteria too. And when we concentrate again, we reverse from being men to the children we were back when. Except fighting today in lives, a child can forgive and make ties more suitable to survive even in a world made of lies. But we die from deep stabs of knives. An atrocious act will brutalize the mind where there's no turning back. But if you fear your God, then structure your life with time off to worship your Lord. Your eyes will see different from what was set before. Project of palaces and store of those seek knowledge just to get close to God and not to point out the obvious. Renewed goal will warrant a review of the soul, holding back from applying what you know. So self-reflection and prayer become protection. Silence is gold currency squatting when guessing. Back roll with I don't know, smiling a terrible expression. I am slave mentality.
Tell me not that I'm a dreamer, but of things that I feel and see, or that nothing can be accomplished from the things I wish to be. Tell me not that I'm a fanatic for things I feel inside. These are flowers of oppression, born of pain I cannot hide. Do not look upon my actions of acts of one insane when I take up modern weapons to avenge my father's name. Let your eyes fit on the ghettos and through the books of history. You understand this feeling, just how it can be. Sure, I must admit I bear it for the precious blood I've bled, for the years of cruel oppression that you heaped upon my head, for the rape of my grandmothers and the mulattoes that you left, for the many years of slavery with its legacy of death. So tell me not that I'm a dreamer, although it's you who cannot see. I'm just another victim of a cruel reality. I am violence.
A little boy grows up dadless, but he still tries to do the right thing. He goes to school, but he doesn't understand a thing. But he still tries to survive so the evils of the world don't eat him alive. Even when he's left school, he's met with the same challenges. Walks down the street, sees other boys sagging, won't even ask them for a light. Even when he's home, the challenges aren't completely gone. He turns on the television to see all the mess, but he just wants to see the word progress. And he turns up the television and starts singing along to the song he used to listen to. Blessed are those who struggle. He said, now, my ideas are bigger than bold. I will break out of the world's greatest asylum, but first, I must break out the prison inside of me. Blessed are those who struggle. Oppression is worse than the grave. It is better to die a noble cause than to live and die a slave. Blessed are those who struggle. Oppression is worse than the grave. It is better to die a noble cause than to live and die a slave. I have struggled.
Night descends as the sunlight ends, and black comes back to blend again. And with the depths of the sun, night blackness becomes one, blackness being you. Peeping through the red, the white, and the blue. Dreaming of bars, black civilization that was flourished and grew. Hey,
wake up, people.
Or we are all through. Drowning in the puddles of the white man's spit as you pause for some draws in the midst of it, and you ain't got nothing to save your funky butts with. You cool, full stepping on menthol cigarettes around midnight, rapping about how the big apple is out of sight and he ain't never had a bite. Who are you fooling? Me or you? Hey,
wake up, people.
Drowning in each other's uptown two roaches are drowning in each other's piss, and downtown interracial lovers are secretly kissed, while junkies are dreaming of a total bliss somewhere in the atmosphere, far, far away from here. Beyond realms of white dimension, gather bright suppressed intentions, as their cries go unrecognized, except by their keeper, the Grim Reaper. Save me, and car me shout as the lights go out, because you ain't paid your electric bill. And as the struggle grains to the drops of the wine's bottle, as you roll your eyes, never knowing that you blew. Hey,
wake up, people.
Sitting in the corner of the minds tied to your behind, photofied members of Negroes Anonymous, never knowing which way you're going. You people understand? Up against the wall, black males and farmers all blow you away, and you'll never live to see the light of day. And as the nightstick glides gracefully upside your head, and that's right, brothers and sisters, y'all are living dead. And as it saves your butt in the nick of time, as you wake up and you start to find yourself laying up in your bed, your butt in your hand, trying to remember from where you recall this nightmare that will always leave you feeling blue. But still you can't place a man's face as hard as you try to. Hey, wake up, people, or we are all through. I am stagnation.
Why would you want to be someone else when you can be better by being yourself? Why pretend to be someone you are not when you have something they haven't done? Cheating yourself of the life you have to live deprives others of that only which you can give. You have much more to offer by being yourself than walking around someone. You have much more to offer by being just you than walking around someone else's shoes. Trying to live black on another is a mistake. It's masquerade. Nothing more than fake. Be yourself under your curiosity shows with others and live you more this than you. Remember that God loves you as you are. To him, you're all about your side. Learning that God will love you more too. In the straight time, protect this than you. We are self-image.
Nobody can hear it.
We got to get rid of this ghetto mentality because it's killing me and you by the dozen. First it was killing my aunties and uncles, and now it's killing me and my cousins. Generation after generation falling into the same trap. We got to build a new foundation because this one is about to collapse. Produce new pillars. All we've been producing is unlawful killers and professional drug dealers. A race of men who don't take care of their babies, or a race of ladies who take care of their babies and been independent since the 80s with help of child support. Because they took the mean to court and fought for some ends. It's a shame that most male Negroes, which is a shame because the men should be willing to spend on their seeds. In some cases they do, but the women are filled with jealousy and greed. They don't spend on their babies. They get their nails done and hair weaved. They get their nails done and hair weaved. It's a shame that most male Negroes don't want to be their children heroes. Because we trying to raise real women and not a bunch of you-knows. If we act like this today, then what would our children act like tomorrow? And this is not the type of example we want our children to follow. Are we going to send them in the new millennium with poisonous venom injected into their minds, thinking that the only way that they get money is out of doing crimes? And our women won't know how to be, and our daughters won't know how to be women, so they would just be grow up to be you-knows. And we can't get mad at them because this is the life that you chose for them to take. And now we must motivate and educate and teach them things that are true, like it's okay to live in the ghetto, but don't let the ghetto live in you. When I enter the year 2014, I'm closing the door behind me. My future is so bright that it will almost blind me. I'm going to teach my children good things, like I'm going to teach my children knowledge so that they will not follow blindly. And if you want me, on the road to progress is where you can find me. I am Victory.
All right, all right.
Wake up.
That's right.
All right. Woo! All right.
They feel so good. All right, what's it that? Let's give them one more round of applause.
All right.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now we got some, you know we had some special stuff for the students. We got some special stuff for other folks. Ain't that right? Yes. Okay. This is Harley, this is Charlie. Have some extra special recognition.
Yes.
That we props to do.
We're just gonna run through it. I know you guys are probably ready to eat, and I think I heard the band. So we're just gonna run through it, inshallah. So I would like to first recognize the parent warriors that we had this school year, because truly without the parents, we would not be able to do this. We lost some parents.
We did, because they being warriors.
They doing stuff for us
to make sure things come together.
Oh, okay.
We can still say their name.
Yes. Okay, so we want to recognize Sister Mashan. I know for me, I want to recognize Sister Mashan. That's Mansour's mother. She was actually one of the culinary arts teachers of this year, and we begged her actually because Mansour, I'm calling him my business name. Mansour always came with gourmet dishes. I mean, I think he came one time with a sandwich in the last few years that I have been watching him. 2 years, one sandwich. He would have rotisserie chicken, popcorn, it was air popped, and she would put her own spices.
He had some lamb with a
shrimp,
potato,
tofu. I know. And some raw eggs. It was like, you have to do it. I was eyeing it like, yes. And then, Sister Salima had some parents. That was my parents. Well, I'll just go ahead and run through my other people. Maymuna Stroud, who is my art history teacher.
All right.
She came regularly every week and taught children different artists or authors. She even had one offer for the author. What's her name? Susan Roth, who does, she do the fabric designs in her books, collages in her books, to come down to our school. It was just so wonderful. Maybe inshallah parents can chip in, with some donations and friends and guests, and we can bring it down, inshallah. We're homeschool working off our own budget, so maybe one day, inshallah. I really wanted to recognize Maymuna. She always gave them a nice art project to work on. It was similar to what the author or artist, similar to their art, right? Thank you, Maymuna, for your hard work. Okay, also want to recognize Amina. She's not a parent, but she is one of my assistants. Nora Amina. She's like, Amina was my rock. If a baby needed changing or fed, or If children were sitting around wondering what to do, if I had to run an errand, she was all over that. And I was very appreciative. Actually, I want to recognize all of my children, actually. So if y'all could just stand up. Mina was a paid help, but I want to recognize all of my children. It's a family business. Yes, please stand up. Stand up, brother. Stand up.
All right.
Including Hadia and Ife and Anaya. Because like Sister Khadija said, from the oldest to the smallest, they all have some type of nurturing quality that really added to my family business. So I really appreciate you. Sister Aaliyah, who was another assistant of mine, I don't think, okay, she wasn't able to make it. She just got married. She's a newlywed, mashallah. And she was also the paid help, and she did a wonderful job with the baby. She was truly the baby whisperer. Sister Shahida, of course she couldn't be here. She's in Morocco. I apologize if I left anyone out.
And I had one person in particular, Miss Onisha Freeman. You have to come forward and get your flowers, girl. Come on. She's your queen. No, Miss Freeman, she was so amazing. I mean, like, you don't understand how hard she works. I mean, don't be fooled by the size. I mean, she packs a lot of punch, and she works continuously around the clock. So she's like a wonderful, wonderful person to work with. So great with the students, and she did excellent with the people at Wycombe. My wife, give Miss Freeman, extra round of applause.
All right.
Also, Miss Freeman just got a promotion. She's a head sister in charge now in the Whiteford summer camp program. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, you can say no.
Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I really I feel so fortunate to be a part of this community. These young people are amazing. They have created art, media, writings. They did a book. They're changing the world, and you guys are very, very lucky to be a part of their journey, and very fortunate, should I say, to be a part of their journey. I'm very thankful to actually be able to be a part of their journey too. Each and every one of them I've met, some of them I've only known for a very short amount of time, but some of them I've sort of been with a couple of years now. And Hudayfa.
1, 2, 3.
Hudayfa and I will be traveling to San Jose, California to represent Atlanta, Georgia, to represent the Whiteford Computer Clubhouse, but also to represent all the people in this room. He is going to be training at the Adobe offices, and so some of you may not know what that means, but it's a huge accomplishment for him to be one of only probably 20 children from all over the world to be able to have this opportunity. And I'm very, very proud of him, and his sister as well. His sister has been able to, Maymuna, she got the Computer Clubhouse scholarship. She was awarded $4,000 towards her college.
All right.
Also, she teaches, she's very proactive, she's very strong, and she's very humble, and she's a very good representation of what a young woman's supposed to be. I'm very, very proud of her. And all these other young people, to be a part of an international network of young digital media makers is something that's very progressive. And you guys are going to see in probably the next 5 to 10 years that technology in the classroom is going to become even more important. Unfortunately, you taking a pencil to paper is becoming quite antiquated. However, I love it. I still do it. But these young people are being introduced to sort of our new wave of learning styles, but at the same time, staying true to who they are, who they represent, and really, really bringing culture to young black children in the hood. And I'm so thankful to have them a part of our atmosphere when we're in the clubhouse, because some kids, they don't understand differences and things of that nature. They may not ever be exposed to that. So they bring a form of culture to our environment that other kids may never even see. So thank you all so very much. You've added so much to my life, and I really appreciate it.
All right.
with one line. Don't worry about it, sis. I got your back. That one line, Sister Salia. And if I need a ride, can you pick up the children this morning for me? Do my shuttle. Don't worry about it, sis. I got your back.
Oh, mashallah.
I need a substitute because at one point, my little baby, who is running all around the place she's sitting now, was sick. Don't worry about it, sis. I got your back. So I wanted to recognize Sister Sadia for driving, for substituting, for that one line. Don't worry about it, sis. I got your back. So, parent warrior.
Mashallah.
Thank you. And I wanted to recognize. Thank you. Okay. One of my people left, Sister Latifa. She cooked. She was one of the culinary artists earlier in the school year with my students. And
they made some macaroni and cheese, some fried chicken. Y'all remember? I remember because I really believe in the essence of food. And if y'all ever get a chance, you should try some of Sister Latifa's food. You know, I don't know if you know, especially in the South, like somebody put their foot in it. I'm like, you put your feet in it, your ankles and everything. Her food is amazing. So she brought her like wonderful recipes to them, and the boys were in the kitchen frying up some chicken. They were making macaroni and cheese. What did I make?
Nachos.
Cookies, nachos. So they got some skills. So these kids tell you, oh, you know, don't let them tell you, Granny. Let them kids come over and cook for you sometimes. Right? Grandparents.
Sister Marchand also, she did the right. So the uncooked food, the raw food. She brought in the raw foods, and I remember Nadira and Jahadia were doing the kiwi sip. It was made with like kiwi and maple syrup. I mean, all of these dishes. I mean, they're still gracing our table. I know my children are still preparing them and making them for my family. So I really want to thank those two sisters, Sister Latifa for the first semester and Sister Marchand for the second semester. Alhamdulillah.
All right.
And also, I'd like to recognize. I had some stuff to say, but I need to run through it. So, I wanted to say that really quickly, when you move from a home into a building, it's not always the easiest thing to do. So you need good people on your team. So this particular warrior, I would say parent warrior, was on my support team from the very beginning. And she's been a substitute, a driver, and not to mention keeping our imam on schedule. We want to acknowledge Sister Zubaida.
All right, Beta.
She keeps the wheels turning, the production going.
No, she likes to keep the street on.
She likes to keep the street on.
Go ahead, bestie.
Sister Fatima's not here, but she did. She taught after school with my students. After school, Islamic studies and dua. Okay, so we have some special awards for the brothers. The brothers. Even the real brothers. And our lives. But first we're going to start with the youngest brother who represents it. What's that brother's name?
That name is Ishmael Brad.
Brother Ishmael Brad.
Ishmael, I don't know if y'all know, he was in an all-boys private homeschool before he came to me. He learned all types of skills to keep himself healthy, whether it was, what do I want to say, self-survival, breathing, camping. I mean, Ishmael knows a lot of skills that I don't even think his parents know. So, I mean, Ishmael can guide us in a lot of different things. But he was also my PT teacher, my physical trainer. So if you pass by, the school sometimes, you might see the children out in formation. doing push-ups or laps. I mean, we're talking like organized physical training. I really do appreciate Ishmael for keeping our students in tip-top shape.
All right.
He said a coach, he's like, coaches should not tell children what to do if they can't do it themselves. So I thought that was a really good thing to say, for those of you who are in public schools, And wonderful. And we just wanted, like I said, we would take a moment for the brothers want to say something. Very often in current society, black women are portrayed as harsh, unloving, unwarm. But we're definitely the components of being warm and supportive and loving just as much back to these men who love and support us. So we made these wonderful trail mix bags in burlap, so it's vegan friendly. And it says on the front, happy trails to you until we meet again with today's date. And on the back is a poem, that's an excerpt from a poem that says, like a lion that stands over his pride and has dominion over his land. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, strong, beautiful black men. Your abilities are limitless. Your hands can accomplish any task. Even when it seems impossible, you always manage to show contrast. In my world, you are very high in demand. Remember, I do love you no matter what. My strong, beautiful black man.
All right, all right.
Black men with these black sisters. And one of the Imam Tarek. So Imam Tarek, Brother Khatib Muhammad, and Brother Bilal Stroud. If you can come forward, please.
All right.
I'm giving you Taki Jr. Self-sufficient, as Sister Shahida would say, right? This was her inspiration. We actually made the burlap bags, and it's a lot of your Sister Charlie's made.
Go ahead, Imam. Power to the people.
So when Brother Khatib is up here, he can go ahead and give the closing remarks and the prayer. And what we're going to do afterwards, we have, we have next door, well, 2 doors down, the Students Gallery, and we'll be serving refreshments for you while we get the late lunch prepared. And those who need to pray can pray during that time. So Brother Khatib will close us out. Thank you.
Power to the people.
What more can I say at this time? Alhamdulillah.
I like that bag.
I was ill a couple of days ago, and Friday actually, and I told my wife to tell everyone that forgive me, I won't be able to make the meeting. Make their last rehearsal.